This is the gaming channel. When I played through Crash Bandicoot 4 It's About Time, I spotted numerous Easter eggs and I thought that it would be fun and interesting to create a video about them. Therefore, I began by finding some by looking back through my streams of the game when I played through each level for the first time. So, let's start. I spotted the first Easter egg as soon as I was able to start playing the game in the first level, Rude Awakening. When you go down to the sea, there is a Spyro swimming float. In case you didn't know, Spyro and Crash share a connection because both of their original trilogies had Sony Interactive Entertainment as publishers, and those games were originally PlayStation exclusives. Apart from that, their games throughout the years have shared developers and publishers. They have both appeared together in numerous forms in multiple games from both series, and there have been crossovers between the two universes. The next Easter egg is in the same area. However, you hear this one rather than see it. By using the spin attack on the speaker, a theme tune plays. When I was playing the game at the time, I thought that this was the theme tune of Crash Bandicoot Warped. I did some research and came to that conclusion. I was thinking that Crash Bash's theme sounded similar, and it does at the start, but I'm pretty sure that the theme you hear is that of Crash Bandicoot Warped, the third Crash game, and part of the original trilogy. Also, I think that this theme tune playing would make more sense, because Crash 4 takes place right after the events of Warped. Next to this Easter egg, yes, there is a third in this one area, is a TV. By using the spin attack on it, it will turn on and you will see the logo for the first Crash Bandicoot game, with part of the background from the Insane Trilogy's main menu, the Insane Trilogy being the remake of the original trilogy. Spin attack the TV again and you will see the logo for Crash Bandicoot 2 Cortex Strikes Back, and the section of the background that is behind it. If you spin attack the TV yet again, guess what? The logo for Crash Bandicoot Warped appears with part of the background behind it. The developers have paid homage to the games that came before this one, canonically and because they occurred before this one, and Crash Bandicoot 4 now exists next to and alongside the first three games. Moving on now, the next Easter egg I found is in the level Offbeat. When you get to this point you will see a massive balloon moving along, and it is none other than Spyro again. Later on there is a massive balloon of fake Crash. He is a character who you could say is a staple of the series. While he hasn't appeared in every Crash game, he has been in a ton of them. He made his debut in Crash Bandicoot Warped, and then went on to appear in Crash Team Racing, Crash Bash, Crash Bandicoot 2 Entranced, Crash Nitro Kart, Crash Boom Bang, the remaster, or remake however you want to look at it, of Warped as part of the Insane Trilogy, and the remaster or remake of Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled. Apparently he is additionally supposed to appear in the upcoming mobile game Crash Bandicoot On The Run. Further on in the level, there is a giant balloon of Pura in a cart, a reference to Crash Team Racing. Pura is a male tiger cub who is Coco's pet. He also made his debut in Warped before appearing in Crash Team Racing and its remaster or remake, Wrath of Cortex, Crash Nitro Kart, Crash Boom Bang, and the remaster or remake again of Warped in the Insane Trilogy, while he's supposed to get a mention in next year's Crash Bandicoot On The Run. Fake Crash does appear again, but in the flesh this time in Run It By You. He's doing a sort of little dance when you see him. I found quite a few Easter eggs in the level Food Run. I'll just add that this is one of the levels in a dimension far into the future. At the start of the level when the cutscene plays and when you start playing after the cutscene ends, you can already see one clear Easter egg in the form of the CTR initials as part of a sign. These initials are in reference to Crash Team Racing, indicating that the type of racing we see in the game is a thing in this dimension set in the distant future. Next to this sign is one that says Coco Calf. Interestingly, one sign has Crash in the name and the other has Coco. We know that Coco Calf means that Coco's managed to open a calf, most likely a successful one. In this future, and as Crash is the first word in the CTR initials, he has seemingly started a successful racing business if this is in relation to him. But I imagine it is, as the signs are next to each other, and Crash and Coco are the two characters you see in the opening cutscene of the level. Afterwards, a modern looking Dingo's Diner can be seen, meaning that a third playable character, Dingo Dial being his full name, has opened a successful diner. As a result, this level, and dimension, shows three of the main characters having a successful future. Then, there is a Easter egg in relation to yet another key character in the Crash Bandicoot series and this game, Aku Aku. He has a sign too. I'm not certain whether this sign is advertising a business related to him, but it does look as if the sign version of him is in a mobile phone or something else, maybe a walkie-talkie, due to what looks like an antenna sticking out the top of the rectangular structure. So with Aku Aku popping up as well, that means four of the main characters really. I mean, you can't play as him, but he does help you out, so you could say four main characters. Onwards to the next level, Rush Hour, there is an Easter egg that isn't as easy to spot due to it being down below and because you are sliding on a rail as Torna. This sign seems to read Papu. Papu can only be in reference to Papu Papu, the character who appears in the original Crash Bandicoot and its remaster or remake as part of the Insane trilogy, Crash Team Racing and its remaster Nitro Fueled, Crash Bash and Crash Twinsanity. Maybe that means Papu Papu opened a possibly successful business in this dimension. Following Food Run and Rush Hour is the Crate Escape. Straight away in the opening cutscene and when you start playing as Cortex, Uka Uka with a question mark is on the left wall. It's apt to be playing as Cortex and having this Easter egg in sight, like with Crash and Coco being by the signs advertising their businesses. Next to this is an arrow pointing down to what is possibly a chunk of metal. Perhaps this is making a mockery of the ancient mask, or it could be a sign that he has been forgotten about and no one knows who he is or was. It could be both. At the start of Cortex Castle there are a number of frames containing artwork. The artwork in the first frame on the left wall seems to be of a baby. I imagine that this baby was Cortex. If this was Cortex, it's interesting to note that he had the letter N on his forehead even as a baby. Further along the same wall you can see who I'm pretty sure is Cortex's mom, and she has an M on her forehead instead, meaning that her name starts with an M. I believe that Cortex does refer to her and mention her name in the game as well. And there we go. I may do a follow-up video talking about more Easter eggs if I happen to find any more when I'm playing through the levels again, taking different paths and routes in certain ones, and when I'm playing through the flashback tape levels. Anyway, I hope you found this video entertaining and I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to like and subscribe for more gaming content and content like this, and that is all.